All right, guys, we're going to do a take two. All right, here we go. Approve, send request. And hopefully it will be able to add her in. And there you are.
I'm here. I still can't see you, but we're going to keep it
But we're
moving.
going to keep it moving because I can see you. You are gorgeous. You are beautiful. How are
Thank you.
you?
I'm good. Thank
Good.
you. How are you?
I am good. So let's go ahead and get this chat started. So welcome everyone to another episode rather, of Tesha's Tea Room, the place where conversations conquer cancer. I am your favorite breast cancer survivor, Tesha, and today we are here. I am here with one of my dear sisters. I finally got to meet her face to face last month at a breast cancer conference.
Vatican.
Vatican, yes, and it was such a wonderful experience. So everyone, please give me a warm welcome. For those that are watching, give a warm welcome to my friend, my sister, Miss Tameka Johnson. Hey, girl. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
So good. Finally, I'm so glad to have you here in the tea room. And it's been long overdue. And you are, if I'm not mistaken, you are here in the DMV area, correct?
Yes, I'm in the
That's what
DMV.
yes, she is hailing from the DMV. So shout out to everyone, all the baddies that are here, our best friends and sisters that are here in the DMV area. Shout out to you all. But tell everyone that is watching, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So I am a three-time cancer thriver. My initial diagnosis of cancer was at the age of 13. I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, which is cancer of the femur. And then probably about 18 years into remission, I was diagnosed at the age of 31 with stage 2 breast cancer. I was HER2, actually triple positive. Let me just say that.
Okay.
HER2 estrogen receptor and progesterone receptor positive. And then at 36, we found that the cancer had metastasized into my collarbone, my left collarbone, my lungs, and my lower spine.
Okay.
So now I am stage 4 and, still here pushing, living life. I am also a single mother of a high school graduate this year,
I
class of
know not.
2025. My
I
baby's
know you are
graduating.
not. Girl, you look
Thank,
beautiful. You
thank you
look like you
so
have
much.
somebody that's getting ready to graduate from high school. Wow, that is
Thank you.
such a blessing.
Yes, listen, it is. It's been a journey. She's been my number one supporter, my A1, through this journey. So I'm so proud of her. She's graduating this year. Um, yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I'm a special educator. Well, by trade, I was a special educator. I'm now retired out because of my medical condition.
Okay.
But I'm a special educator by trade.
Mm-hmm.
I've been teaching for about 25
Okay.
years in and out of the education in between, dealing with individuals with severe disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
adults
Okay.
with severe disabilities. So yes,
Oh wow.
um,
So
that's a
again,
little bit about me.
I knew we instantly clicked because again you're an educator. So am I.
Yes,
So but
yes.
shout out, I have to give you special education. I have to give you bow down because it takes a special person with special patience
Oh,
to
thank you.
deal with children with special needs. And
Yeah.
for you to do it as long as you have done it, I commend you for doing that, and because we definitely need more teachers out there, more educators out there like you. But
Thank
it is
you.
unfortunate that your condition, had to, end that particular journey in your life. But I am so glad and so thankful that you are still here and you are thriving. And girl, just simple, you just look good and fabulous. And
Thank you, sis.
I
I
am
appreciate
just
you so
I
much. I
when
appreciate
I
you.
first
I
when
see your
first
accolades, your education accolades. I'll be cheering you on over here because I'll be like,
as me would do.
yes, girl, that's not easy, you
No, it
know.
is not. It is not. I tell anybody, to try to do the job of an educator, it's not for the weak.
It
It
is
is
not. It
certainly
is
not for
not.
the weak. And I tell anybody, I teach kindergarten. You couldn't even last half a day with 5-year-olds
Listen,
and try doing it and
listen.
try doing it
I
as
had
long
high
as I have.
schoolers. I could not deal with the little ones. I was like, no, like give
Oh,
me high school every day, all day.
am,
The little
I'm
ones,
total opposite.
you a special
Give me
person
the
to deal with
babies.
them.
Give me the babies. I cannot deal with the high schoolers, no, because they got the mouth. They're just a whole different beast. I just can't do it. So shout out to all the high school teachers, educators, and middle school
And
educators out there. I
listen,
can't do it.
all the educators out there, because
All the
you
educators
listen,
out there,
you
because
have to be a
it
special person to
you
work in
most
each
definitely.
and every field of education.
Absolutely. So, talk to us a little bit about when you were first diagnosed. What age were you when you first got diagnosed?
With breast cancer,
Yes.
so I was 31 when I was first
Okay. So
diagnosed with breast
again,
cancer.
okay.
And I
And
found my own lump
okay.
doing a self-breast exam.
Mhm.
I actually found it right before I was getting ready to go to work.
Mhm.
Um, I had a co-teacher at the time, and I was like, something didn't feel right. So when I got to work,
Mhm.
I said, listen, I need you to come in here. No, listen, no, I'm not trying to be nasty or nothing. I need you to feel this lump on
Mhm.
my breast.
Mhm.
And I need you to tell me, like, I need to know that it's there, because in my mind, I'm like, no, this ain't, no, no, I don't feel
Right.
it. You know, you feel it, but it's like, no, no, no. I was a
Yeah.
little bit in denial. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Um, so she felt it, and she looked at me and she said, Tameka, you need to go see your doctor.
Mhm.
And I was like, I just took a deep breath and I was like, okay. And that's what I did. I followed up with my OB,
Mhm.
um, and she immediately sent me for a mammogram. I
Mhm.
went in for the mammogram, and I lie to you not, when the machine pressed down on my breast, there was fluid that came out of my nipple.
Discharge.
And that's, yes, discharge
Mm.
came out of my nipple. And as soon as I saw the discharge, I knew it was cancer. Um,
Wow.
to be honest, at that moment, I had no idea,
Mhm.
no knowledge about what breast cancer was,
Mhm.
honestly. Like, I mean, I knew about breast cancer, but I didn't know the
Right.
details
Right.
and what to look for, except for looking for a lump at that
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
But it was just something in me that felt like this is cancer.
And that's
Um,
why I stress and I reiterate in my during my episodes the importance of going to get checked out immediately when you feel something, because you are your best advocate.
advocate.
You
Yes,
know
ma'am.
your body better than anybody, and whenever you feel something, go and get it checked out. Don't wait on
Yes,
it. I'm so glad that you did not wait. I'm glad that you had the mindset to go get it checked out, to go see what was going on, and to make sure, and thank goodness, that you caught it when you got it when you did. You was able to get it treated. But unfortunately, we know that cancer is a beast.
yeah,
It can come it can come back, and when it does come back, it can come back even worse than
more aggressive. Yes.
more aggressive than before. How is your support system?
Oh, I have an amazing support
Talk
system.
about your support system.
My family, my friends, my daughter, they are so um, in tune,
Mm-hmm.
and You know, they're here when I need them. If I need to go to an appointment, I can just put in our family chat, hey, anybody available to take me if I need somebody to take me? You know, they're trying to work it out for me. I'm so blessed because I know that everyone does not have the same support system that I have. Everyone does not have someone to go with them to treatment, someone to take them to appointments, someone to go with them, you know, to your whatever procedures that you need to have. My number one supporter is on. My other number one supporter, my mama.
Hey, Mom.
She's been, you know, riding on this journey with me since I was 13 years old and diagnosed with cancer. So, you know, this it's a blessing. I cannot complain. I'm so blessed to have the support system that I do have.
Yes, and I tell newly women or people that have been diagnosed that you don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
Don't do this alone. You try to get a support system, because there will be moments when you may not have the strength to do anything, but they can be your strength.
Yeah.
They can, you know.
And you know, I always say this, and I've said this, and this is what I've learned going through this journey. This battle is not as much of it's a battle of the mind more than it is a physical battle in my eyes. And if your mental is not there, your physical will die. So if you mentally are not there, if you mentally can't deal, then you're just going to deteriorate from the inside out.
Absolutely.
And that's my personal opinion about this journey.
Oh, and I 100% agree with you. I know when I was diagnosed, that was having that mindset, having that determination, just to know that I'm not going to let cancer beat me. That's half your battle. I tell everybody that is half your battle, because if you don't, like you said, you're going to let it defeat you, because it's not only a battle of the mind, but it is also it's a physical battle too.
Yes.
And if you don't have that determination, that fighting spirit, to not let this thing defeat you, and you fight with everything that you got in you, that's half your battle right there.
Right there,
so
that is. It sure is.
I tell everybody, you know, when you get that diagnosis, you know, get it. It is a punch in it's when you get the news, because first, you know, you never think that it's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And then when you do get that news, it's a punch in the gut. And you know, you go through those emotions. You go through the moment of, you know, why me? You know, am I going to die? Because that was my first thought. Am I going to die? Am I going to die? And, you know, I got all that out. I screamed and cried and whatever. But after that, Tameka, it was like a strength that just came over me. And God was like, all right, you got it out.
Right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And not only that, but then, because I was 36 when I was diagnosed, and I was like, wait a minute, I was single. I was in the prime of my teaching career. I said, wait a minute, I got places to go and people to see and things to do. We don't have time for this.
Right.
We don't have time for this. No. So that was another factor for me that got me through.
Yeah.
So moving forward, you know, April is National Cancer Prevention and Early Detection Month. And April is also Minority Health Month.
Yeah.
So April is a lot of things besides, you know, Easter and, you know, spring and all this good stuff. But, you know, for people of color, you know, because we die at a higher percentage than other communities with breast cancer. Talk to everyone about how important it is to, you know, get those screenings every year, you know, making sure that you're doing those monthly self breast exams. And just like you, when you felt that lump, don't sit on it.
Right. It is so important to know your body.
Yes.
And that is something that I stress, knowing your body. Even with my 17-year-old, I stress to her knowing her body, knowing when it feels good and when it doesn't. It is so important not only to know your body, but to know your history. One thing that I went into this and I didn't really know is I didn't know the history of my family when it came to breast cancer. I didn't have any idea. So I had to talk to my mom. And while there are other cancers in the family, breast cancer was not necessarily one.
Right.
I did the gene and the testing and all of that, and I didn't have the gene. My family, there was no gene in my family. But one thing that they did tell me is that you can start it. And that was like shocking to me. So, but yeah, it's very important to know your body. It's very important to make sure that you're doing your breast exam, because we know that early detection is the best detection, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, you don't want to wait too long. You don't want to wait too late. I get it, being in denial about it and not wanting to hear those words or hear the doctor say you have cancer. That is devastating.
It is
But
very
your life
devastating.
is more important than actually hearing those words. So, you know, you want to make sure that you're here and you're prolonging your life the most that you can. So yes, it's very, very important, especially for women of color.
Yes.
Because like you said, we are dying at a higher rate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we want to continue to preserve our lives. We want to continue to preserve our children's lives and our children's children's lives. So we need to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to know who we are, know our bodies, know ourselves, and to catch those things early.
Absolutely. And I commend you for now having those conversations with your daughter, even though she's in her teens. But we are now we're seeing in recent years that younger and younger women are getting
being
diagnosed.
diagnosed.
Blew my mind when I first got diagnosed that I didn't know that younger women could get it. And I met a young lady that was 19 years old. Got that was diagnosed with breast cancer. Because in my mind, I always thought that it was just older women that got it. Did not know that, you know, they could, women in their teens, young women in their teens could actually get it. Hence you, 13.
13.
Oh my God.
Bone cancer. Yeah,
13.
bone cancer at 13. Yeah.
So again, you know, I commend you. And for those that are out there watching, you know, have those. If you have daughters, goddaughters, nieces, you know, female cousins, younger, you know, female cousins, or any female cousin, have those conversations. Have those conversations with them about, you know, making sure that you know your body, getting those yearly screenings. Talking, like you said, talking about our family history. We as an African American community, we don't do that.
Not at all. Not at all.
We start talking when it happens.
When it happens, when it's too late.
When it is too late. So we have to get out of that mindset, you know, of not having those conversations, because that is part of early detection. That can save your life.
Yes, knowing your history can definitely save your life.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, I mean, we know that things were just posted about, Beyonce, and her mom and her dad were both diagnosed. So that means that her and her sister had 3 times more chance of actually being diagnosed. So knowing that history, knowing what chances you have, gives you a better opportunity to protect yourself and to know yourself.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So for those out there, if you are hesitant about going to get that mammogram, I implore you, please go.
Don't be. I'm telling you, you would rather get the mammogram and be, you know, go and do the things that you're supposed to do, rather than having chemo, having a mastectomy done, and having all the things that someone who's been diagnosed with breast cancer has to go through.
Absolutely. Endure the
eyebrows not come back and your eyelashes fall off.
Exactly.
And not come
all
off.
Of that. You know, endure those couple of minutes of pain so that you won't have to endure life-changing events. So Tameka, you are not only a survivor, and you are just a fabulous breast cancer sister, but you are also an author.
Yes, ma'am.
And your book, Evolving Soul, is about living with living with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Talk to us about that.
So my book
How
is
did it come
about,
about?
um, honestly, okay, so let's go back. When I was initially diagnosed with cancer at the age of 13, God put it in my spirit to write a book.
Okay.
Um, and being 13 is like, what? I don't know what that means, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So I always knew that I was supposed to share my story and I was supposed to write a book. But it wasn't until I was diagnosed with when the breast cancer, when I was diagnosed initially with the breast cancer, that I began the process. But I kind of put it down because there were things that I was afraid to talk about, right? There were things that I was afraid to say because I went back, into my life, and then I went through the talk about the trauma that I had to endure as a child, facing cancer, and also in my life, I also talk about the relationship that I was in when I was initially diagnosed with the breast cancer, and how that person actually decided that they couldn't no
They
longer
couldn't
be in a
handle.
relationship with me, and how that broke me and how that hurt me, and it was so much loss during that time. So I just really couldn't gather myself to actually write it. So it wasn't until the cancer had metastasized and something in my spirit was like, get it done. And so that's what I did. I sat down and I just wrote, and I cried through the process. I grieved the things that I had put aside and never grieved, fully. And I got it done. And Evolving Soul is the process. Evolving Soul is the product. I'm sorry. So it goes all the way back to me initially being diagnosed as a child and going through that, and going through the trauma that I had in my life, and then how I dealt with that, and then my spiritual journey too, because a lot of the way that I'm able to get through this, everybody's always like, how are you so strong? How are you able to get through this so, easily? Like, it just looks like it's so easy. I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy, but what I do know is that God is
That
faithful.
he is.
And I talk about my
Whew, that
spiritual
he is.
journey. Yes, I talk about my spiritual journey in the book and the things that I tap into on this cancer journey, the things that I do for myself to build my spiritual self up, to build my body up, to help my mindset. Because again, it goes back to this being a battle of the mind. It's physical, yes, it is physical, but like I said, it's more. If your mind is not there, your body will follow that mindset. So if your mind is dying, your body will die too. And so, so that's what I talk about, and I share a few photos in the book. Me and my daughter, some photos here of my when I was initially diagnosed, and after my mastectomy, I was in my cousin's wedding. So I was
how
getting
long
my
did
hair
it take
done.
you to write the book?
Oh, years.
Okay.
It took me years because I kept putting it down. So, I kept putting it down. It took me a good 7 years to get it done. But once I sat and I really decided that it was something that I was going to do, it took about a year to get it done for real.
And now that you have written this book, how do you feel about it now?
I feel amazing. Wow, it's my first book. It's not perfection. It's me. It's the truth. It's my truth. It's my journey. But yeah, I feel amazing about it. I feel free.
And it's a wonderful. It may be your truth, but it is also a wonderful resource.
Yes.
For someone that is going through it.
Yes.
To look, to read it, to see, oh wow, look what all she endured through her journey, but look at her now. Yes. And she is thriving. She wrote it, and you had a story to tell, and you told it. And I know for me, when I did mine, when I wrote my book, I didn't want to do it. Because I was like, I don't want to relive all of that I went through.
Yes.
And there were moments where when I wrote, I cried, I put it down, but I pushed through it. And I'm so glad that I did because, like you said, I
Mm-hmm.
grieved, but at the end of it, I found it to be therapeutic. And,
Yes.
and I look at it as this is a resource that others can use. This is a story that I can share with others that they can go back and encourage themselves or encourage
Oh,
someone else, someone that they
yes.
know
Yes.
that's
Yes.
going through it, and to know that there is hope, and to know that if you are diagnosed, that it's not the
It's,
end.
it's not a death
It's
sentence.
not a death sentence. Because look at, I mean, you got two testimonies right here.
Yes.
Two
Amazing
living,
testimony.
two amazing testimonies right here. So tell everyone, how can they get a copy of this book? Because
My book,
I'm going to put it on my resource page. You will, so that others can be able to purchase.
you can send me a message through Facebook, Tameka's Evolving, or on Instagram at I am underscore evolving soul.
Mm-hmm.
You can send me a message. I can send you a signed copy that way. Or um, you can order your copy on Facebook. I mean, sorry, on Amazon. And the only
Okay.
thing with that is that you cannot get a signed copy.
Mm-hmm.
So either
Mm-hmm.
one is fine.
I want a
You can do either
signed
which.
copy.
Yes, listen, get
I
a
need an
signed
autograph.
copy.
I need an
Yes, yes,
autograph copy.
yes, get a signed copy. And so that's how you can purchase your book.
Absolutely. So for those out there that are listening and watching, please support my sister. And this is a fabulous, a wonderful resource to have, not only for yourself or for someone that you may know that is that's going through their journey.
Yes,
And so that they can be encouraged and supported and know that they are not alone, and it's not a death sentence.
it is
Other
not.
than being an author and being a thriving survivor, you are an advocate and you
Yes.
are a patient, a breast cancer advocate. So tell us about some of your advocacy work that you are doing to help bridge that gap with breast cancer, especially in the for women of color.
So I am an angel advocate with the Tiger Lily Foundation. A
Okay.
lot of my work right now, I've done work around clinical trials. I've written articles about my experience with clinical trials, what I believe should happen for women of color, because we know that women of color the numbers are lower for women of color who participate in clinical trials.
Yes.
So I've expressed my thoughts on how women of color should be encouraged to participate in a clinical trial when it comes to their breast cancer journey.
Yes.
They need numbers on us. They
Mm-hmm.
need statistics about us, and they don't have that. The statistics that they are going off of are for women who are not of color. So more women
Right.
of color need to participate in clinical trials. So I'm working on that, and I'm also doing some policy things.
Okay.
Um, Working on different policy things, making sure that prescription drugs are available and affordable for all
Yes.
of us,
Absolutely.
especially us on this journey
Mm-hmm.
who continuously, not just people who have cancer, but people who can have a journey and are continuously having to take medication. Okay,
Absolutely.
so it's very important that drugs are available and they're
And
affordable
affordable.
for all of
Absolutely.
us. So that's what
Absolutely.
I'm
So you are doing
working on right now.
you're doing some amazing and you are doing some amazing work. You are doing some important work, and
Thank you.
I fight in the fight with you.
Thank you.
What we're doing now is what we are advocating, and just getting the word out and just spread, educating, and we're advocating for everyone that is going through the journey, to
Yes.
making sure that they are aware, making sure that they are have the education, and just being encouraged. And
Right.
so for those that are out there that are still that are watching and listening, I hope that you have been blessed by this conversation, this chat,
Yes.
as I have
I hope
been.
so.
Girl, we could talk all day, but you know what?
Yes, we can.
We're going to get together We're
Yes.
going to get together. And as I tell all of my guests, this is not your last time in the tea room. So I can't wait to have you back.
Bring me back,
Yes.
girl.
Oh, you coming back, girl. You are coming back. And because I do want to, we just got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of work to do, girl.
Yes, so
Because
much work to do
we got
on this journey. Yes,
on
so
this
much
journey.
work to
Yes,
do.
representation matters, and we got to make sure that we are represented in every way
Yes.
possible, so that again we can bridge that
Yes.
gap, and
Yes.
so that
We are
everybody can.
representing and we are educating each other, because
Absolutely.
that is the main thing. We need to educate each other. So,
Absolutely. Not only educate each other, Tameka, but we need to encourage each other and support each other
yes. Yes,
in
indeed.
everything that everything that we do. So that I love you.
I love you too,
I'm
girlfriend.
so glad that we got to finally got to meet, because we've been friends for a while, but we
I
finally got to
know.
meet face to face. And so that won't
But
be the
now that we
last
know
time.
we both are in the DMV, there's no
Yes. Oh,
excuses.
no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. So we will get together. But tell everyone, how can they follow you on social media?
So on social media, you can follow me right now on Instagram, again at I am_evolving soul. I'm switching my page
Okay.
over from my old social media that I was hacked and it was some issues, but at
Gotta
I
love
am
technology.
underscore evolving soul. So you can follow me there on Instagram, and I'm also on TikTok at I
Okay.
am evolving soul.
Girl, when I tell you about TikTok is when I need a good
That's my
laugh,
friend.
that TikTok is my best friend.
Yes, it
It's my
is.
best friend. Honey, when I need a good laugh, that's where I go.
Girl, you and me both,
When I
okay?
need a good laugh, when I need I'm crying, a cry laugh, that's why I go to TikTok.
Yes.
So
Yes.
everyone, you know how to follow Tameka on social media, and please make sure that you get her book. It is a wonderful resource to
Thank you.
have, not only for yourself, but for anyone
Someone
that
else.
you know that is going through this journey. So make sure you cop that.
Thank
And I
you.
invite you all to go to my YouTube channel, Tesha's Tea Room, where you will find this fabulous conversation, as well as my other conversations that I've had with thrivers and survivors. So please subscribe, and share out. But again, Tameka, I love you.
Thank you,
I'm so glad
sis.
that
I
you
love you
got
too.
to. I'm so glad that you got to get in the tea room. And with
Yes.
that being said, because I saw your drink, I saw your mug. So let's get your mug.
Oh, my mug.
Yes. And so with that, cheers, clink clink. All right. Well, this is Tesha, your favorite breast cancer survivor from Tesha's Tea Room, the place where conversations conquer cancer. I am signing off, but I wish everyone good health. I wish you love. I wish you peace. And until
Yes.
next time,
Good
Tameka, I
night.
love you, and we will chat soon. Take care,
Yes,
everyone.
ma'am. Good night,
Bye.
everybody.